Good morning, everyone. The everything rally in the stock market looks like it'll continue this week. Bitcoin just hit a record high of 82,000 over the weekend over increased optimism under a Trump administration of a friendlier regulatory approach. And then there's bets that a $2.8 billion bet that Bitcoin could hit 90,000 in the coming days. I wouldn't be surprised if not only did Bitcoin hit 100,000 by the end of this year, I think it's possible that I could hit 150,000 by year end. There's so much momentum right now, especially with a Trump win. First of all, he will replace the SEC chair Gary Gensler, who really regulated these crypto companies by litigation and regulation by enforcement. I think there'll be with a new SEC chair. I think there'll be a friendlier regulatory atmosphere for crypto. There's been a lot of crypto candidates that won election in the House and Senate. So new crypto legislation will likely pass. On top of that, Trump has said that with the Bitcoin that the U.S. government already has on its balance sheet that it confiscated, that Trump will probably use that towards Bitcoin strategic reserve in order to pay down our national debt. So as Bitcoin goes up in price, it has a better chance of paying down our debt. So there's that too. And look, there's this better regulatory environment combined with the 4 year cycle. Bitcoin usually does well every 4 years about this time, 6 months after the halving. Based on history, Bitcoin goes pretty parabolic about this time. 4 years ago, Bitcoin went from 15,000 to about 69,000 in that coming March. And I believe that's very possible that Bitcoin being about 81, 82,000 will likely see maybe 250,000, in my opinion, by March to May of next year. I think between March to maybe June is probably when the peak of this cycle will be based on history. But it's hard to say because if the U.S. government is acquiring Bitcoin and is putting forth so much legislation, there's going to be a global game theory with nation states trying to acquire Bitcoin too. And that could make the previous 4 year cycles be obsolete if that is true. This cycle could go longer. We don't know. I still think it might resemble a previous cycle. I think it'll be a strong run up anticipation of the global game theory of other nation states acquiring Bitcoin. Obviously, we have to see. But if it's a new kind of cycle, maybe Bitcoin would peak out at the end of next year. But obviously, there's predictions that it could be anywhere from 200,000 to a million. I still am going to say for this cycle, Bitcoin will probably peak out at 250,000. But I wouldn't be surprised if we hit a $500,000 Bitcoin by sometime next year. Obviously, we have to see. On top of that, Tesla hit a $1 trillion market cap on Friday and was up 8%. And also, it looks like Tesla will be up another 7% today due to Elon Musk's ties with Trump. And look, Elon bet $130 million on a Trump presidency, and a Trump presidency will likely also give Tesla a lighter regulatory touch and could fast track the path of clearing full self-driving and autonomous. According to Wedbush and Dan Ives, that's worth $1 trillion in value of Tesla alone. So that's pretty encouraging. A lot of investors are betting on Tesla right now, kind of pricing in that a friendlier regulatory environment that Tesla and Bitcoin really haven't had in the past 4 years. So that's good news, and that's why Tesla is running right now. Look, Tesla isn't just a car company, as I've said previously. It's a autonomous tech company, robotics, clean energy, solar. Elon Musk is our renaissance man with this technology. Just like an iPhone is a supercomputer in your hands, Tesla is pretty much an iPhone on wheels, and he's translating that technology into robots. And look what he's doing with SpaceX. A giant rocket ship was caught by pretty much the equivalent of chopsticks. That was pretty incredible and good for American innovation. But either way, I think there's strong animal spirits in this market. I wouldn't be surprised if the S&P 500 hits 6,500 now by year end in my bull case due to all this optimism. And look, there'll be a lighter regulatory environment in general. There'll be more companies able to merge with each other. There'll be a better M&A environment. There'll be a better corporate tax environment that's pro growth. The one risk, obviously, is tariffs could be inflationary, but I think the pro growth policies of lower taxes and a lighter M&A environment is good overall for the economy. Maybe that'll help our debt and deficit. Obviously, we have to see. And then I also think that Donald Trump will not only replace the SEC chair with a different SEC chairperson, I also think he'll make a lot of different appointments at the FDIC, OCC, and even the Federal Trade Commission. Lena Khan, I think he'll replace with a different FTC chairperson that's probably will operate with a lighter touch in terms of regulation and will allow more M&A and mergers. But obviously, we have to see. But that should likely bode pretty well for the business environment. Let's see what happens.